Hello friends and welcome again to another AFK journey video. In this video we'll be fighting two bosses actually, not one. So I'm gonna go and fight the guild boss. I still have to do my tries. I didn't pick the best lineups and the best teams, but I will go and try to do it with a team that everybody most likely are using, which is the Carolina team, because this is what is left for me. Because Odie, I use him, Vala, I use her. I didn't put Marilee back then because I didn't have her at Mythic Plus. So that was a big a mistake for me. I should have put in her here. But now we're gonna talk about the Primal Lord, or one of the versions of him, which is the Lone Gaze, which is really a solid, hard boss to fight actually. I wanted to have one copy of Burial. Many told me that it works perfectly here. Scarlita works perfectly. Now, of course, we have Temesea works nice because she goes back and forth, and a lot of the wolves misses her, but for me it's not working at Mythic, so you need her at Mythic Plus probably so she can have more defensive capabilities. Seth, for some reason, many people are telling me is working perfectly. Shakir is not working for them. Brutus, they're telling me he's awful, don't use him. Even if he survives a little bit, he will die eventually. Antandra is good for sustaining if you want somebody to sustain. Heaven is great for the defensive buffs that she gives. Lucius for the shields, which doesn't work so good, but his seasonal buff is really good, that it will give you a little bit of energy. Coco is pretty perfect here. So I'm gonna show you the lineup that I'm using. Now, I'm not using Vala here. I can't drop the boss below 50%. If I could, I would play Vala instead of somebody else. Maybe instead of Corin or instead of Marilee. Now, Smokey is dealing good. Now, as you see, I'm not playing any tanks, which is not really good. But for me, it's working because Corin is tanking a little bit. He's giving a little bit of shield sustainability and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different variations they told me to work with, especially with this lineup. They told me use Rainier. I used him. He's not built at Mythic Plus for me. So until you get him to Mythic Plus, Legendary Plus will help you in different modes, but probably Mythic Plus is the way to go with him so he can buff you here. So the only survivability options that I have so far, I have Heaven. She's at Supreme. Mythic Plus, I got her to Supreme because she's really good. I want to try her in this lineup, but I will mess up my synergy because I have 3 Molars and 2 Light Bears, which will work perfectly. I'm using Marilee instead of Vala, as I said. Vala, she will shine when he drops below 50%, so he can get the true damage and she go burst mode and she will out DPS everybody. But for now, Odie is dealing the most damages, and my Marilee is dealing good amount of damage, which is helping me as well because she does true damage at Mythic Plus. We got her to Supreme. Still, her weapon is at +9, not at +10. I still need one more day so I can get it to +10, and then she will shine even more. So let's go and test this lineup. Plus, I tried different things, different artifacts here. The most consistent one is the Evocation spell. It doesn't just give you, it gives you the survivability with the shields that you get from it, because it applies it at the start and then it applies it after it applies everything else. So it goes and rinse and repeat everything that. And it gives me 11 points in crit, which is really good and massive because crit rate is RNG, and the more that you crit, the more the damage it will boost you. And 7.7 attack is absolutely phenomenal. Now the 14% HP is helpful because it helps you survive and tank a little bit. Let's go and check out, can we do anything better with this lineup? Could we survive? Could we do better scores? Like, as you see, Corin is kiting the boss away from my Smokey, which he will not interrupt my Smokey because this boss can interrupt Smokey. And as you see, Smokey is not in the circle right now to hit the boss, but when he does his blue cloud, he will hit the boss. Now from Coco, we're taking the buffs. Of course, having Coco at Mythic Plus is the best way to go because she will give you that survivability with the shields. And again, Coco was a little bit late. We lost our Marilee, sadly. So I'm gonna try and redo it again because Marilee is a big component with this lineup to keep us surviving actually and dealing the most damage. As you see here, we're taking a lot of damage. Thankfully for the Coco buff, we're still alive. Hopefully we're gonna get Coco buff again before we die. And yes, here we go. Okay. We got it before we died completely, and we're still dealing a good amount of damage. Now, I got to the 40% with this lineup. It was absolutely phenomenal. And here we go. We got the 40% again. Hopefully we can get more, and we did get more. It was a better run because Odie survived a little bit more, and Corin survived a little bit more, which is good. But if Marilee can survive with them, that's the biggest option for me, and I will get even better scores. Now, you want to get to the 40%. This helped me massively. You can unlock it, go and equip it on your units, and then you will deal even more damage. So here we go. I want to test the one that told me, hey, drop Smokey, play Heaven, which I don't know. I feel Smokey with his cloud is dealing a lot of damage. Now we're gonna see the damages at the end. So they told me play Coco. And here, if I play, Heaven. If I play Heaven, I don't have any single buff. So I need to remove somebody and play somebody else to get the complete synergy. At least 3 Maulers or 3 light bears. So if I remove 1 Mauler, who's the biggest Mauler I have? Nobody. But if I remove, I can play Lucius. Let's test Lucius with this team. Now, of course, I can play Coco. I can let Smokey tank, but he will be interrupted. So I will let Heaven tank actually, and I will play Coco in the lineup here as well. So probably this might work. We still have the 10%, I think, 10% by 10%. If this works, that would be awesome. But I think that Corin is dealing even better than her with having him here. I'll put Marilee back here. She survived in my last run when I put her here, not put her here. For some reason, I don't know why. So let's go and check it out. It's RNG. If she survives when the Coco give you the buffs, I think it's with you and your luck. So Heaven will give us mitigation. So more defensive buffs from Heaven, not shields from Corin this time, just defensively, full defensive buffs from Heaven if she drops it, and she did drop it. So we have the defensive buffs plus the defensive buffs from Coco, and it's in the same time offensive as well. Now, my Odie is taking a lot of damage from the wolves, not Marilee this time, and here we go, healing, and Marilee died. Oh my god. Okay, Coco gave us the buff, and she died, and Heaven didn't heal us again. She should reuse the rain prayer, and we're gonna get okay, so this wasn't the best lineup, and this was bad actually, and with Corin we did better scores. So it's okay if you don't have Heaven, you can replace it. We saw the best lineup is with having at least a tank or no tank but a pseudo tank like Corin. So we'll do this again one more time. This is the lineup that we used, same artifacts, same everything, and I'm gonna show you the scores by the end. I will not put Marilee here or here. I will keep her backline, but I don't know if it's RNG if she jumps and stay backline, or if she jumps in the front while he gets knocked back a little bit, then the wolves will attack him. This is what I think, the backline is the one to be attacked by the wolves. So hopefully we're gonna get this. And here we go. Smokey, please. Nah, Smokey got stunned this time. Corin took him to the side of Smokey, didn't take him to the side of my Marilee or Odie, which is not bad actually. He still gave us the smoke. Corin is still there. If he attacks Corin or Coco, I'm not sad, but don't attack Smokey and stop this. Cloud and Marilee survived. Wow. Corin died, Marilee survived, and Smokey is dealing the Cloud. Don't get stunned. I just don't want you to get stunned. We're still dealing damage. If Coco can give us the buff before everybody else dies. Okay, here we go. And can we survive? We didn't survive with Odie this time. Damn, that's sad. Marilee survived and she's gone. We're not gonna hit the 40%. So this is the RNG that I was talking about. If Corin jumps back to the Odie position, the haste that is generated by the buff of Smokey will not fade away, so you can generate more energy, so you can do all of your spells, especially Coco spell. Coco is so important to Mythic Plus. I'm playing her and she's not at Mythic Plus. This is why she's not helping my team that much. But if she's at Mythic Plus, she's the main component for this boss, by the way. And you can play with no tank. You don't need a tank to play with a tank. Like if you don't have Corin built, of course, even at Legendary Plus, Corin just becomes perfect. If you don't have him at Legendary Plus and you have like Lucius at Legendary Plus or at Mythic, you can play Lucius. He will give the shields and he will give you the buff of the seasonal buff that he have. I think it's haste. We're gonna go and read it. So this is the lineup. As you see, Odie dominates here. Marilee is helping with damage. Marilee did half of his damage actually when we did the normal run and I checked the scores. Smokey does Smokey things. Corin, if he survives more, he does as Smokey damages. But this is the way it goes. This is the best lineup that I can give you actually with my lineup, with my strategy. So let's go to the guild and I will show you here. With me for the guild, I don't have the best lineup so far because I used it actually and it was pretty good. I will tell you about it. And here we go, quick battle. We're at the boss, fighting the boss. So I don't have, this is the last lineup I was playing on different stage. So these, so as you see, Smokey, Vala, Coco and Odie were dealing damages for me. Now, of course, if I didn't have Vala, if I'm fighting a boss not below 50%, I will play Marilee. I don't have Marilee, I didn't include her. And I was playing Rainier, I think I was playing Kruger, and I was playing Corin a little bit, flexing towards them. And it was giving me good scores with either of them, so any of them, these three, which is absolutely nice. Now, we're gonna play this lineup, 3 of you. I think Rainier should be good here, and we need Heaven for healing. I can use him, and I can use both of these healers. Like I can use him to drop the heals, and I can use her for healing, but we get only the synergy for 10%. Now if I drop her and if I use him and I use somebody like Corin, now we get the 14%. We have a better one. If we remove that, we play this, we did something like that, now we have even a better, yeah, it's a 19%. 19% is really good. It will heal my Cecilia. The biggest damage dealer will be Carolina actually, even if we don't have CCs. Plus, I'm always using this artifact, the evocation spell. Offensive and defensive, it's pretty awesome. Now for my next lineup, or last lineup, who's gonna deal the damage? It's Kruger and it's Corin with the support of Heaven. I think I can play 3 Maulers and 2... Yeah, I should play Heaven in another lineup. So I could remove him and play... Nah, I'll play Heaven with them. It doesn't matter. Temeseya doesn't matter, she's a fill-up. Because I can add her whenever I want if this doesn't happen anymore, because he have low energy, he have 36. So let's go and test this out. This should be nice actually. This is this boss will knock us out or stun us. It's a bad stage for Smokey, but not a bad stage for this lineup. And as you see, she's tanking for me, which is good. She dropped Mr. Carlisle, and Carolina is dealing Carolina stuff. And we're getting the heals, a little bit of heal pots from our Rowan, and Rowan is giving us energy so we can spam the spells. Because this lineup is not a bossing lineup, but as much damage as we can do with this lineup, we're gonna try to make it. And we need a lot of energy to do the damage, so we're using Rowan to give us on Carolina and Cecilia. Now, if you have, of course, the Carolina lineup with Aaron and with Arden, that would work also. So it's not bad actually. And you'll use Damien also for energy boost, or you're gonna use Heaven actually for survivability mechanic, which works as well. So here we go. 1.2 billion we did as damage. Not bad actually for this non-bossing lineup. And I'm happy with that. And the dazzling DPS goes to Carolina, of course. She deals the most damage. Now, of course, I should have put a Rainier on her, but I know that Cecilia doesn't survive the entire battle if I don't put Rainier on her. So that's the point that I was talking about. So here we go. Now we can't use Rainier anymore, so we can drop Heaven actually here, and she could help us survive. And now we can do this, and hopefully it will make a better score. Now it's a boss. There's a lot of teams. I will be covering the meta teams when I do the next run for the boss guild. And for the teams for the guild, these lineup does not work actually, and these are not good. All of them are not good. But the thing why I'm using them, they are the highest build on my account. And if you build something else, they will be even better. So I'll be covering the best teams later on a different guide. And yeah, that was it for the video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, I thank you for watching. And as always, stay frosty. Peace.